Hello everybody, I said I wouldn't be back, but here I am. So, if you just watched the pre-show, we were doing that, and I haven't got any comms team, so I'm still here. They haven't let me leave the booth. So, I'm here watching qualifying at the moment. So, the guys we were just talking to in the pre-show beforehand are now underway and actually doing the qualifying live round 7 here for Canada, Circuit de Villeneuve, and we have got just under 8 minutes left of qualifying. We have got some lovely, wet weather at the moment, but it is looking dry as well coming through. So we've got a lovely time at the moment from Chris Shepherd in the Stacks car of 1:26.4, who's currently sitting on pole position. Obviously, this could all change quite heavily in the dying moments, but we have got them. Championship leader Minek sitting in second, who's just behind with a 26.9. Very, very close behind him is DeWalt, who both of those guys do have grid penalties though, so remember they're not actually going to be up there as high as this in the end of the race, for the start of the race even, apologies. And Menoconch just popped in our time there for third for Stacks as well, so that Stacks car is obviously really tuned into these conditions with a 27.0, almost making it a front row for Stacks so far. So that dropped DeWalt down to fourth. Patrick Gerber in fifth at the moment with a 1:27.4. David Junt sitting there as well. We've listened to his manager for Red Arrow in the pre-show. Where are we at? Seventh, then we go down to, and we've got Cutra in seventh at the moment. He's right on the tails of Junt there. Mike Quint in the Scuderia Brasilia, who actually just dropped down to ninth because we've just had Mark Breslin jump in for the mighty fourth into eighth. Wesley Stefano in 10th. Roy Schroten, who is your second person in the championship at the moment, is down in 11th. So that's 12th, in fact, just been taken even further. The times will tumble as we're going through towards the end of this race, end of this qualifying session, which has 6 minutes to go. So we've got Minek on a really good lap at the moment, hitting purple sectors in sector 2, looking like he might come on. But remember, he has got a back of the grid penalty, and he does take provisional pole at the moment with a 26.1. Doing 276 kilometers per hour there, which is the fastest person on track so far. There is quite a lot of guys who are all improving on their times. It's going to keep tumbling and tumbling and tumbling as we go. Obviously, we've got a fantastically quite a big grid here, really. And if you didn't catch us in the pre-show, of course, this is the lowest series at the moment, the feeder series for the rest of the ladder. It's where everyone starts off. It's where champions are made and bred. And this is really where we start seeing these guys coming forward. We're around 7 now, so these guys have really got used to these cars. Some of them have had mixed results, to say the least, but some people have really got on it and have had amazing results as well. We do have a reverse grid for race 2. We've got 2 races here, both of 18 laps in this case, and so there is that reverse grid where you can see, if you say these people who like Minek, who's got a back of the grid this time around, he'll be trying to get up there in towards the top 10 so that he can then potentially get himself a high place on the grid for race 2. It does really make a big difference here, but at the same time, you can overtake in this racetrack here in Canada. It is a very fast-paced circuit, but equally some street elements and some chicanes as well. Particularly, we've got a fantastic hairpin as well. So, you'll know what I mean. We've got the Wall of Champions. There's so much history here in Canada. So where we got now going on? We've got Chris Shepherd in the Stacks set of purple first sector. Must mention, Stacks have got a one-off race livery this time around. Being Canadian and 150 years of Canada as well, they have decided to run a one-off livery, which I'm sure you'll agree is very nice. And I quite like the idea of that happening. And noted in the diary, you may see some of my cars doing that. Thank you, Stacks. That's a great idea. Oh, he doesn't quite do it, though. He didn't do the last sector, was not particularly good there. We've got quite a lot of people in the pits now at this stage who are starting to... Now, if you were doing your qualifying, you'd think, right, I'm now starting to wind down. With the track getting faster and faster, you'd expect everyone to want to be the last person on track. If that's the case, then that's great. But it does mean everyone's sitting in the pits or maybe doing an out lap at the moment, getting themselves ready. You've also got to make sure you don't have much traffic and you don't want to be very last person out just over the line. They can complete the lap here. If they do get over the line just before the qualifying session finishes, they can finish that lap, and that lap would count. We've got Chris Shepherd there, who's done a purple sector in sector 1. So the Stacks car who's currently sitting in second. Let's see if he can get any further, because I think he's probably the guy who seems honest at the moment, but very, very closely followed by Jaden Wright now, who's pushed himself up into third. Other people of note, Cutthroat moved himself up into fourth. He's now just gone back out on track again, so he might get... He'll get his laps in easy. He's got ages of time. Yeah, they've probably got enough time for 2, in fact, at this stage. We've got Menacon sitting in 7th. He moved himself up to there. Roy Sheridan's up into 10th, so he did improve, but not quite as high as we probably have wanted him to. Yes, Shepard done a green sector 2 as well, so that's better for him. It's going to be a bit... And he does take provisional pole over 26.069, so that is only just ahead of Minek, but still Minek going to be weighed out. So that's 7 tenths ahead of Jaden Wright in 3rd, who is effectively, at the moment, would be starting next to him on the grid. Minek looks like he might be responding because he has done a purple sector 1, but at the same time he has got the back of the grid penalty, so really it's more for pride and to start ahead of those guys who have other back of the grid penalties. There's not as many in this as we might see in other series, actually, but there is a few. In fact, if I was clever, I'd have pulled that up ahead of time, but I will probably get to that. I'll go through all that in the 10 minutes that we have between qualifying and the race itself. We've got Patrick Gerber and DeWalt of note in the pits, Stefano as well. We would have to get out now, probably to get over the line. In fact, yep, a couple do. DeWalt's still sitting in the garage. He's sitting nerves on the... Sitting right at the end there. Can he? Will he go out? Will he not? We've got Clont doing a pretty good lap as well. Who else? Matthew McCard moved up to 5th there. That was a good run for him for the YTF1 team. Who else? Everybody pretty much is out on track. Roy Versailles is actually in the pit, so that I think that's him done. He won't be able to do that anymore. Chris Shepard drops over the line again. He does beat his time with a 26.069, but at the same time he's now in the pits, and that is him done as well. The rain is coming down though, and I think we may now see everyone is dropping off a little bit. So looking at the times, everyone's starting to spin, everyone's dropping the times. This could be it. This could be everybody out now. We could already have our topsy-turvy grid potentially here. I can't see anyone improving on weather that we had before. Just seeing if anyone is completing laps. As an example, Jaden Wright did a 28.2. He did do a 26.8 before, which is his getting him into 3rd. So that just shows you they're about 1.5 seconds down, if not 2 seconds down, just by being in the different conditions here. Will we see these conditions for the race? Probably, in all honesty, but will we see it straight away? Some of these guys who have really wet setups, who might be a little bit further down because it wasn't actually that wet in qualifying here. We've got 30 seconds left of qualifying itself. There's a lot of people still out on track. Nobody is improving their times, though. I have to go quite far down to find anyone improving their times. Bruno Ferreira is improving his time at the moment, as is Terence Gretsch, so we'll see if they move up a little bit, maybe. The guys at the top, though, all seem to be kind of set where they are now. But we'll let everyone complete their laps and see if anything does come of this, because there's always that chance. Who knows? It's worth trying. And if nothing else, it's worth trying out your setup and your tyres on this wet track. See if this is what you're going to start the race off in. It's worth giving it a go, isn't it? And getting as much knowledge and as much time on this circuit as you can. Looking at it, though, Gretsch didn't improve either. Not far off, though, 28.1, which is only 2 tenths off his best lap. So that shows there's probably more potential there, actually, if he did get a clean lap in. Lindbergh is on a fastest lap for himself, who's down in 23rd. So we'll see if he's still on it. He's done another green sector in sector 2, so he'll improve his time, which hopefully might see him move up the grid ever so slightly. He might be the only one potentially on the move there. There is some people that really is a bit of worry here. We've got Roy Schroen sat in 11th. You've got Mike Quint down in 21st. He's sitting 4th in the standing, 3rd in the standings overall. So that's quite a person who's quite far down. Who else we got down the back here? Really, there's only a couple of guys now on track. I think Lindbergh will be the last one to finish his lap. And yes, he moved himself up to 15th, so that's very well done for him. But I think he's about the only person to have improved in the last couple of minutes there, so that's well done for the YTF1 driver there, Lindbergh. Fantastic, up to 15th. That does drop some of our other guys down, like we were saying before there. Mike Quint in 22nd. You've got, who else have we got sitting down the back here? Obviously, some guys have got penalties anyway, but nonetheless, that does mean that we've got Chris Shepherd sitting on pole position there. I'll go through the timings and then we can look at how that works out with the other guys. So we've got Shepherd, Marnik, Wright, Kutra, Macard, jumped, is still on the lap, but not improving. Gerber, Clont, DeWall, Early, Schroten, Bar, Versailles, Breslin, Limburg. Tell you what, we'll keep going. Why not? Bruno Ferreira, we've got Clip, we've got Joseph, we've got Roesk. I apologise for any pronunciations that I make with all these, by the way. We've got Stefano in 20th, we've got Gretchen 21st, Quinty 22nd. We've got a new driver, Lorenzo De Cullis, for Hollard Racing Team in 23rd. We've got Nicholas Demetrius in 24th. We've got Martin Reitberg in 25th. We go down to Metcalf in 26th. Holstra in 27th, Ryan Nash in the Academy in 28th, Onwin in 29th, and our Downforce Racing aficionado, who unfortunately I won't even attempt, I apologise, but our friend Thomas there from Madagascar, well done on the 29th, rounding out the grid. What a qualifying, eh? We did mention about the weather and all playing a huge factor in the pre-show. It's going to obviously be a big factor in the races here, particularly as the races are so short. If we saw what we just seen there, where the race could change, imagine that if that was the race session and it suddenly rained in the final 2 laps. My God, what havoc we could possibly have around this circuit. It could really throw it up. So keep, even if we get somebody running away, it could almost, change within seconds if we got some rain. We see people flying off left, right, and centre. And we change to a free prep warm up and we get some sunshine. So who knows? But maybe that's how it works. Maybe we get the sunshine first and everyone moves and then it does move into the rain. If that happens every session, it's going to be a massively exciting race that I can't wait to watch. Now, I did fill in for qualifying there and we'll go through the guys that have penalties in a second. It must be said, though, we're not around for the race. The broadcast is, so my cameraman extraordinaire, Mr. Francic, will keep streaming, keep showing you the positions and such there. Unfortunately, at present, a live comms team isn't available. If somebody is available who's listening, please get in touch. We can throw you in the booth and you can give it a go. We always love giving people a chance. If not, however, we will be making sure that this is retrospectively commed for when it goes onto the YouTube channel to watch back. So you won't be without, you'll just be without briefly now. I did want to make sure we've just got a little bit going on there, though, for everybody who was who's watching, and I don't want you to miss out because it's such a great series, Formula Challenge, and so many great drivers up and down the grid. I'll just get you those penalties now. Apologies for not having them to hand. The absolute commentator's curse, silence. Oh dear, right, okay, so we are at Formula Challenge, we are in Canada, we had Monaco last time out, so we saw some penalties arising. Not all these drivers are necessarily driving here, so I'll just go through some of the key ones who are driving at this event. Everyone, even if they're not driving here, it does carry on to the next time they drive, so they don't get away with it, don't worry. So, some of the guys we spoke to. So, Patrick Gerber has a back of the grid. Meinek has a back of the grid. We've got Matthew Marquardt has a 10-slot penalty. DeWall has a 5-slot penalty. Limburg has a 5-slot penalty. I think Onwin has a back of the grid penalty. Barr has a back of the grid penalty. Who else was in? I think that is probably everyone who is still actually here on this race. So that does mix it up. Oh, Stefano as well has a back of the grid demotion. Apologies. So if any of those guys are in this time out, then unfortunately they're going to lose out and end up at the back of the grid or 10 down or 5 down. It doesn't actually mix up too much right at the top of the standings, except for Meinek, who ends up right down the back. DeWall also was up there in the top 10, as was Limburg, actually. He was quite high up, I think. He ended up with about 15th, didn't he, at the end there? So he does make a big difference. Even 5 slots does make a big difference here. But you can get an awful lot of people off the line and over the. But don't go all out on the first couple of laps. So whilst we've only got a couple minutes left of warm up before the race starts. So, and then I shall be leaving you and letting you guys crack on and watch a fantastic race unfold before your eyes. And you'll have to commentate between yourselves. You can happily talk in this stream on GPVWC's YouTube channel, which if you're listening, you're already watching. So fantastic. Have a chat, talk to us, see what's going on. It's always fantastic for everyone to get involved. Must say though, obviously there is a need for the media team here at GPVWC. If you would love to join, if you want to do cameras, if you'd like to do comms, we are open to people joining. If you can only do certain days of the week, we've got other events that can be done. If you drive here and you would like to help out in other ways, please let us know. We have pre-shows, we've got other stuff going on, review shows and bits and pieces as well. If you're more of a writer, we can deal with that. But really, and even if you want to do cams, but you think, well, my computer and my equipment isn't up to the task, that's okay. We have our own broadcast machine. We can teach you as well. You can be taught. If you just come and say hello, doesn't mean we're going to throw you in the deep end and go, good luck, sink or swim. We will help you out. There is people around to help, just not always available, unfortunately, to do the broadcast. And that's why we do need your assistance. It's such a great series and such a great league. It would be an absolute shame to not have so many broadcasts as we should have. So please get in touch either with myself, Mike Pittman, or just get in touch with the league, or post on the forum, or just get in touch with somebody. There's always somebody about. Talk to somebody, and we will really help out, and I would massively appreciate it. And it's great fun as well. Come and join the team. Basically, just talk for 2 hours and just have a laugh. It's brilliant. We don't even gag you. It's very good. So. They've got 30 seconds left of warm-up, and we see rain again, so maybe that is the way it's going to work. I'm excited to see what everyone decides to start tyres on, and if they're setting up purely for wet races, or they're setting up for it might be a little bit dry, and really, or is it going to be set up for monsoon, or are we setting up for a little bit of rain? Massively interesting to see. Quite difficult to tell, potentially, but you'll be able to tell from top speeds and things like that. So catch raceview.nl to see timings. It's also on the screen, thanks to David. And I shall catch you very soon. Enjoy the race. Thank you.
Attention, grid, we're all non-